Hello and welcome to another update video about Cardano. In this video we're going to take a look at what the Cardano price is doing, and also, as always, we're going to take a look at the Bitcoin price first. But before we start, again, I'm extremely humbled. You know, these subscribers just go through the roof. Thanks again for all your likes and subscribes and all your comments as well, because it is really encouraging. And also great to see that, you know, if you tell me that you don't necessarily always want to hear it's going up, but that you really appreciate that I'm honest with you, because I've been saying for the last few days that we are seeing quite bearish patterns on the chart. And I also showed you the Elliott Wave method, where I believe that we would get to a price for Cardano between $1.80 and $2. And there always are a bit of negative comments when I say things like that, because nobody wants to hear that the price is going down. People said they believed we had already bottomed out at 240, but we didn't. So I've been calling these scenarios on this channel. So it's sometimes hard for a YouTuber who tries to be honest and also tries to talk about the negative things and prices going down and predict things like that, because some people just don't want to hear it, and then you get the dislikes. But actually, I really try to be very honest with you guys, and that is why I also talk about the good and the bad things both together on this channel, and I know a lot of you guys appreciate that. So I'm going to continue with that, because when on days like that, like these, you know, when we called these, and it wasn't really unexpected to see that drop. I mean, you never know before the breakout actually happens, but if you watch back a few videos, you will see that. So anyway, let's talk about Bitcoin. And we can see on the Bitcoin chart here that we're currently trading exactly, or pretty much exactly, at this support level here at 43,900 pretty much, or 44,000. And we actually touched today a price of 42,500. What we can see actually yesterday, this drop obviously started with Bitcoin when we broke that trend line here that we put onto the chart. That was yesterday. We broke below that, and then we had a huge sell-off. We got back to that level here pretty much, that support level at 44,000. I did say before that we had this channel, and if we break below 44,000, that I would find that really bearish, and that then we could actually go down to something like 38,000, which is this swing low down here. And it's also an important Fibonacci retracement level. However, I don't have it on this chart yet. Not that important, because it's a Cardano video, so I don't want to hold you up too long here. But what we can actually see is that we had this trend line here. We can draw another trend line actually, and you can actually see that we nearly touched that today. So that is also possibly a reason why we actually got all the way down to here, because we had this sort of pattern building here. But anyway, you know, it did seem like temporarily that we were going to go to the upside, and I'm going to show you on the 1 hour chart, and then we are going to finish this and we're going to go to Cardano. But it did look like with Bitcoin that we were very nicely moving up, and I was bullish then short term, because it looked like a bull pattern. I did call it. I did say I expect a breakout to the upside. It did happen, but then when we and it looked like another bull flag. But then when it was getting extremely more difficult for the price to go up, I became more bearish. I did tell you, you know, there is now a risk, because we are at risk of rolling over again. Yeah, because we had this sort of round shape of the price again, and we actually broke to the downside. So that is what happened, and we dropped now all the way down there. And let's go to have a look at that. That's this trend indicator here actually predicted that as well to some degree. That is here when we broke that trend line, and at that point actually we had a color change of the background to red, which is a first heads up. And also down here in the momentum range, the momentum indicator here, we had a red signal flashing as well. And if you didn't sell here, then you would have probably sold just here when the first flash happened here today, deep in the red, indicate, you know, big sell going on. And it continued. So let's go to Cardano. And Cardano was, for me, even clearer to see actually, because we were trading, and I did mention it in previous videos. I think in every video we were trading in a descending triangle. It was very clearly visible. Other people, other YouTubers, other technical analysts saw something like a descending wedge. I didn't see that at all. That was, for me, a descending triangle. We were very clearly, we had a horizontal support here and a descending trend line. And yes, we were squeezed into that apex, and then we broke to the downside. And we are now on the RSI also in the bearish range below 50, and on the MACD also, you know, we've made a bearish cross a few days ago, and I did mention it back then, actually a couple of weeks ago, and we haven't really recovered since then, which is also why I was rather more bearish than bullish on Cardano, at least, you know, in the short term. Long term, of course, or even medium term, of course, nothing has changed. I'm very, very bullish. I did say that, you know, my price target was somewhere around at least $2 to the downside, maybe lower, maybe even go down to 180, and I'm going to show you why. But let's have another look at this trend indicator, which also flashed actually here, that first sell signal, which was first of all on the 7th of September, when we actually had that sort of flash crash. So that became clear here. First heads up when that background changed to the red, and then now again here, and this was already on the 17th, but there was only the background color change. But the real breakout we had actually here, we had the first flashes on the red yesterday on the momentum indicator down here. So when the background is red and that momentum is red, is getting red, then it's actually a sell signal. So before that crash happened, actually, I didn't pay much attention to that one here yesterday, but what I did show you was this one here, which is the Elliott Wave counts that I've got on my chart here. And for me, this is now the confirmation that we actually had a, well, that we are still in this corrective wave, A, B, and C. Now the C actually didn't quite come down to the A. So in my opinion, that means we need to come back once more a little lower, because the C correction is actually always a little bit lower than the A. So in my view here, at least on the Binance chart, which is this one, we haven't quite come down to that level. Or have we actually? Have we actually come down to the same level? It's pretty much the same level. Yes, not quite, but I think it was a bit different on the Kraken chart. So it is difficult to say. The C normally always comes down lower than the A. So in my view, this is not over yet. I think we might actually go down once more a little bit lower. The perfect target actually for this ABC correction in this case is the Fibonacci retracement level here at 182. So this was always also the target of the head and shoulders pattern that we saw. And I just go back and go onto the hourly chart. We can see that here, the head and shoulders pattern that we were forming as well. And I talked about the descending triangle and the head and shoulders pattern, both bearish signals. That was actually 185, I think. So we briefly, and here on the hourly chart, we can see that we actually did get lower. And that is again the Kraken chart. So on the Kraken chart, we actually did get lower than that correction here on the 7th. On the Binance chart, we actually didn't. On the Binance chart here on the daily, we actually did get lower on the 7th than today. So it all depends a little bit on which exchange you are looking at. But on the Kraken chart, we already were down at 197 today. Back when we had that first flash crash on the 7th, we didn't get quite down to the $2. So for me, you know, if we now see an impulse to the upside, you know, if we see that building up, that for me indicates that we are in that new up, in this new impulsive wave that could lead us to a price of at least 450. And that's again all based on the Elliott Wave method. But if that fails to build, then I think we could come down once more to that level, once more into that yellow box here, which is between these two Fibonacci retracement levels here. And then from then on, we will have completed that corrective wave C. And from then on, we could go all the way up to at least 450, 460. And that would then also be the completion of the third Elliott wave, and that third impulsive wave in which we are currently. Yeah, that's pretty much it for now. And in my view, you know, what are we doing now at the moment? We can see that we're trying to recover. People are already happy that we are recovering, but actually this is not very bullish at the moment, because while we actually had very strong buyer support down here, we actually fail to make a new higher high at the moment. So as long as we are failing to make a new higher high, and we would need to get above the 218 level for that, as long as that is the case, I remain, you know, my perspective remains that we are going down once more, maybe even below $2, and maybe below that price here that we already touched on today, 198. And from then on, I think we will move to new all-time highs. All right, that's my current perspective. No panic, you know, this is perfect times for anyone who's a long-term investor like myself. You know that I'm a long-term holder, and I've bought some more today, just above $2 actually, around 208 I think. Good prices still for me to buy, and especially if I expect the price to go to at least 450 in the next few months. So a really good opportunity for myself. Again, no financial advice. Hopefully you liked that video. If you did, please smash the like button, and if you want to follow me on this crypto journey, then please subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye.